All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me all loud and clear. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday, guys. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. We had CPI yesterday, which didn't really do too much on gold, which we'll have a look at as well. Let me just get Discord up here. Audio and video good. Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You guys on YouTube, welcome back. My name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Trades. If you guys are new here, I've been trading for about 7 years, and I mainly focus on gold futures here in the European session with you guys. So I did have some buys in Asia today. I'm about 400 here on my Asia account, but I'm still going to be looking for some opportunities today, because I do still think there's some nice cards on the table, some nice trades on the table. Let me just have a quick look at the news before we do anything. I don't believe there is I don't believe we have any news today. What have we got today? No, nothing today. We did have some Australian dollar news today. But nothing for the US dollar. Now, we do have PPI tomorrow, which again will be big for the markets here. You guys can see we got PPI tomorrow. But as of today, we're pretty flat on the day. Like I said, we did have NFP. Where am I at today? We did have CPI yesterday, which actually gave gold a pretty nice sell-off here. We had a pretty nice dip lower here yesterday on gold. I personally didn't trade yesterday into the New York session. We took 50 ticks live on stream yesterday, and I pretty much didn't really trade until then. We did the pre-New York market call, but yeah, I decided just to sit it out yesterday. But you did have some really nice fake out buys yesterday. You closed below the support, grabbed the lows straight back above. Like, you had a really nice, 100+ tick pullback after that huge fake out there. Huge fake out at a nice bigger level as well. So coming on to today, to be honest, I was expecting CPI to have more movement than this. I was expecting to wake up and, gold had some sort of crazy moves, but it didn't really do that much. And if we have a look at the daily here as well, give you guys some top-down analysis for the day. Any of you guys who are new here, we will look at all other markets as well. Although I personally do just trade gold, I'm happy to look at other markets as well. So now, I know yesterday we did speak about... hi all, hey man, what's going on? Welcome back, everyone. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Weeks flying by, guys. Weeks flying by. The weeks are going so quick at the moment. Yesterday we spoke about gold looking to come down and liquidate these lows and tap into 3,200. And that is still on the cards for me. I do still like gold to come back down to 3,200. But coming on to charts today, with yesterday, kind of closing bullish at daily support, I'm pretty neutral on an intraday time frame, to be honest. I'm not... Ideally, I want to be following this push down, but could gold pull back from these daily highs and could we come down and grab lows? Yeah, I can kind of see it in both ways. So... in terms of a daily bias right now, I don't really have one. I'm very neutral. I'm happy to stay neutral in these markets because you can kind of see we are creating some pretty aggressive ranges here on gold. What is nice is we have had this huge push down since the open on Monday. I do believe a lot of people will be trying to buy this support. You kind of see this low here lines up nicely back here, which you never even came down and tapped into the lows from the 14th of April, which... to me, looks like a pretty nice target. So you could actually probably draw that liquidity level from back here. Look at that. It's basically a perfect triple bottom. Anyone who's buying here on gold, stops will be sitting down just below. So keep that in the back of mind. I'm just going to keep it clean here for a second. Asia came up, grabbed highs, closed bearish. We're trying to get back lower, but we are still at some pretty tough support. What have we just done here on gold? We just came down. You had a nice push up here. Sorry, that was yesterday. Grab lows, closed bullish. Nice push up there. You did hold a very nice evening star here in the Asian session. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. Beautiful evening star there. Which gave a really nice push lower. I personally didn't short much of this. I did get short on gold, but I got short on this 30-minute flip down into the lows for about 40 to 50 ticks. Before then, you grab lows, close back above, and then ended up having a really big push lower. So liquidity levels for the day is we do still have some nice lows down here. I would imagine anyone who's looking for more of a higher time frame trade, probably looking for something like that. Therefore, we can see gold come down and liquidate these lows. But does that mean, you can't, maybe pull back before that? You easily could. So I don't really want to miss out on a potential pullback just because I think these lows are going to get grabbed. Because this is still, there's still 130 ticks away, which is very nice. If we do want to go short here on gold today, I think the easiest sell here on gold is fake out closures back below here. If we start closing back below here with the London Open, we could be looking for a very nice, minimum 90 tick trade, which would be great. 90 ticks if we can close back below this level. This low here from the 13th of May in Asia is a very nice target. And the thing is, if we do come down here and start rejecting, well, what could that bring in? That could also bring in some buyers who sit their stops just down below that low. So then we could be creating even more liquidity, and there's a higher chance, we may be looking for a deep play. Now, I didn't take advantage of this massive push down here today in Asia because I do also have this double top. Now, I have liquidity down here. I have liquidity up here. So I do have liquidity on both sides now, because you kind of see here on gold before this push down, what did we not do? Never quite re-grabbed these highs before pushing lower. So we do have liquidity on both sides, and this is a pretty decent push down here in Asia. That was actually quite a nice fake out sell looking back. You broke above, you grabbed the highs, engulfed back below. If you had reasons to short that, what time is that? 3 a.m. London time. You had a really nice 130 tick sell off. I didn't see that. That was a really decent push there. Now, let me just see how that previous Audi closed. Previous Audi just grabbed the lows and closed bullish, trying to find some resistance here as well, which is a pretty strong level. So, I know some of you guys were talking about buying this candle at this candle close. The only reason I'm not really too interested in trying to buy this candle is I just don't like where we are. If anything, I want to be looking for squeezes lower from here. But this Audi did grab lows and close bullish. So maybe waiting for the London Open here, guys. I know we did have a nice trade yesterday pre-London Open. But right now, you're grabbing highs, closing bearish. You're grabbing the lows, trying to squeeze back higher. We're probably going to need to see the London Open here on gold. And we're going to look for some shorts below here, down into here. And if we do want to go long on gold, where could we go long? Maybe if we can get back above... let me just change this here for a second. If we can start closing back above 30 to 38-ish, which you can kind of see is a pretty decent support here. Very nice support. If we can close back above, there is the possibility of gold having a retracement back up to here. Which if you do pull back up into, 3250, which is our next key psychological level. Let me just put that on, 3250. Then at that point, there's a high chance if we come... I'll get rid of this. There's a high chance if we come all the way back to 3250, then, we could be looking for buys up into this double top here as well. So we have two pretty decent options right now on gold. We have buys if we start closing back above here, which is going to fill a very nice 129 tick range. If we close back below here, then great. We got a nice 100 tick minimum downside trade as well. So whichever way gold decides to break out, we're pretty comfortable sitting on our hands right now, because in either direction, we're looking for a very nice 100 tick trade on either side. So gold is going to be a little bit patient, guys. We'll wait for the London Open. So in the meantime, let's have a look at some other markets. Missed you on your stream today. Yeah, apologies, guys. I couldn't make the pre-London stream today. I was rushed. I was unfortunate. I couldn't make it in time. But to be honest, was there anything pre-London? I guess this was some nice support being held. Sometimes it's easy to look back and go, oh yeah, I would have bought that. Was there a reason to buy pre-London? I mean, it was a pretty decent push down. You did have a nice trend line here as well. You got higher time frame morning star there. You did have a bit of a breakout. But to be honest, would I have bought that pre-London? It's kind of hard to say. To be honest, after this big push down, Probably not. I probably wouldn't have bought that. Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't make the pre-London session this morning, guys, but I was absolutely making sure we can make it here. Yeah, previous day low. Yep, absolutely, man. Lots of so much daily liquidity on gold. It's very, very rare that you'll see gold push up off 3 equal daily lows. You know, if gold's going to have a true retracement, there's a higher chance that, you know, you'll come down, you'll liquidate the lows before then potentially pushing higher. So yeah, there is a lot of liquidity down here on gold. It's very rare that, you know, you see 2 equal day lows, you likely come down and grab them. Even here, actually had a pretty solid bounce off. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal lows, huge push up, and then you saw the massive retracement. But yeah, there's a pretty high chance we're going to see them lows get grabbed, especially with you know, the fundamentals being bearish for gold as well, and it's also a weekly low. How far are we? Halfway through the month? Pretty much halfway through the month. I know last month was still very bullish, but you know, a bit of a pullback that we have seen here so far in May has been very nice. So if I had to give a, not that I, you know, really care to predict that much, but if I had to give a bias of where I would prefer us to trade here in the London session, it would be the downside. But like I say, I'm very neutral. I'm very reactive. I don't really have a daily bias right now. Like I say, I was expecting CPI to do a little bit more, but with CPI just kind of closing a bit doji, yeah, I'm very neutral. So if we start closing back above in 14 minutes with the London Open, we can look for some longs. And vice versa. If we start breaking below these lows, we can look for some shorts. Yeah, someone just said oil. Let's have a look at oil, guys. Have a look at some other markets here as well. I can't remember what we said. What did we say on oil yesterday? There's a really nice push. I don't remember what we said on oil yesterday. Came down, grabbed the lows. Huge push up on oil yesterday. I have a level to the highs. What was that from? I think these were the highs that we spoke about yesterday. Some of you guys who trade oil probably remember better than me. Yeah, you closed. So last week you grabbed the lows and you confirmed a massive weekly fake out. So buying this week was very nice. It looks like yesterday you had some pretty solid moves. Today's opening with an instant bottom wick. So I'd be looking for today this to be a bottom wick. And by the time today closes, I would anticipate the candle is probably going to look something like this. So oil buys look pretty nice. You do also have a perfect double top. You also have $64 here as well, which is, again, a nice round psychological level. You got 64 sitting just above there. So I'll be looking for longs here. And it looks like it hasn't pushed just yet, which is good. You know, yesterday by the time I think we jumped on here, it's kind of already having the push. You came down, grabbed the lows yesterday, and then just continued a phenomenal push in the New York session. I know some of you guys do get some swing trades on oil as well, which is very, very nice. And you guys who did trade oil yesterday, did any of you guys get the buys? I personally don't trade oil, but did any of you guys actually get this rip? Because it was a very, very big push. Very, very big push. Yeah, we'll look for some scalps on gold at the London Open. Yep. I didn't stream today, man. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to the office in time. So I haven't traded pre-London today. It's my first time jumping on this morning with you guys. In terms of entries here on oil today, it may come down and squeeze the lows one more time before you're getting back above and then see if you can get these buys. So could you have a potential intraday short bias on oil before squeezing higher? You could, but the only thing is you're trading against yesterday's candle. Yesterday's bullish candle. Sure, you weren't making money pre-London without us. That's all I do, man. All I do is I just trade without you, man. No, I didn't trade pre-London actually. I was looking for buys on that hourly close, but I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, always making money without you guys. So yeah, oil, you may have a little bit of a pullback here before you see this squeeze higher. So if you do want to intraday trade oil, if you can break back below, you could be looking for something like this before anywhere down below here. That's where I'd be looking to manage because you could start to see some longs. But yeah, what a phenomenal push yesterday on oil. A nicer run than gold by the looks of it. So good job if you guys did take it. Let's do some scalping. Yeah, let's do some scalping. Yeah, nice. All right, let's have a look at NQ. How did we close yesterday? I know that we closed very bullish because my stonks are booming. Let's have a look. Look at this, guys. What an absolutely incredible recovery here on NQ. Again, just a huge closure yesterday. Again, this one I was saying to you guys, you know, I wouldn't be looking to short this bottom wick. I'd be looking to follow this huge daily candle. And as this candle starts to go from being bearish to bullish, you know, I'd be looking for longs. Copper looks good. Yeah, nice. Let's have a look at, we'll have a look at copper as well. So you had an incredible daily close yesterday. Couldn't quite tap into the lows. You just had a, wow, quite early, 11 o'clock London time. What time was that on the lower time frame? Yeah, pretty decent breakout here. You broke out at 12 o'clock London time, and then New York session, you just had a phenomenal run. So same thing again on NQ. You know, it's not my job to try and short this. I would absolutely be saying to you guys, follow what the markets are telling us right now. Same as here yesterday. I know some of you guys were saying, should we short this for a pullback? And it's not to say that you can't pull back, but rather than trying to trade the pullback, look for opportunities to follow the trend, which would be letting it pull back and then taking, you know, the fake out pie opportunities, which you, where are we? Which is kind of what we want to see today as well. You broke above, you held it and had a fantastic push here. So what time was that breakout? Yeah, 10 o'clock London time. Incredible push. So you don't want to see pretty much the same again on NQ today. I'd be looking for buys into yesterday's high. You kind of came down here in Asia, grabbed the lows, closed nice and bullish, having a nice little run up. But I'd be looking for a little bit of a pullback. Again, I wouldn't be shorting the pullback, but if I was looking to buy NQ, I'd be looking to buy from down here and seeing if you can come up and squeeze these highs. It's not my job to scalp this lower personally, given how bullish you have been. I think if you're trying to scalp a little short lower here, you're almost, you know, kind of trying to FOMO and a revenge trade against this. You know, this is a fantastic move, and we want to be following that. And if we want to be following that, well, we want to be doing it at a good area. So if you can come back down, hold about 21,300, I think that's a nice area to start looking for some longs. Which we can absolutely watch as well, guys. We'll definitely watch. Did any of you guys trade NQ yesterday? Trade New York session? I didn't trade New York yesterday with CPI, but huge moves. To be honest, this is what I was expecting gold to do off the back of CPI. I thought I was going to wake up in the morning and see gold just having a huge sell-off. You know, NQ had a huge run, but gold didn't really do that much. Which I was quite surprised, to be honest. Now, you did have a little sell-off on gold, but nothing too crazy. The daily just closed pretty indecisive. Yeah, let's have a look at copper. Let's have a look. Ooh, look at this, guys. This is what we drew yesterday. So these were the liquidity levels we gave yesterday on copper. Now, again, I personally don't trade copper, but again, you can see here I haven't looked at this since we jumped on yesterday. You tapped into this high perfectly. You quite haven't grabbed this high, but it looks like we're about to hit it. So let's have a look. Really nice levels hit there yesterday. What have we just done? We've came down, we've grabbed a lot of support, and now we're breaking back higher. Same as what we said yesterday, guys. This would be a level where a lot of people will be trying to short this, setting their stops just above. So yeah, copper does look nice. Copper does look very nice. For you guys who do trade copper, you're holding this support. You've came down, grabbed the lows. So with the London open as well, we'd be looking for this candle to open, create a bottom wick, and then we'd be looking to buy the flip of the candle to continue pushing up into these highs here. This actually probably looks like the nicest opportunity. I don't trade it personally, but maybe we can look at this, take this on a practice account or something. But that is look at that. It was a beautiful grab of the lows here, 7 o'clock London time. If you guys are on the charts, you know, as soon as you see this candle, grab lows and close bullish. Buying this candle is fantastic. Even if you're not already in, there's still, you know, some amazing room to the upside, like 44 ticks still. And at 12.50 a contract, sorry, 12.50 per tick, that's still a pretty decent opportunity. I think copper's looking the nicest out of everything so far here, guys. Copper's looking very nice. We have the London Open coming in about 6 minutes as well, guys. Gold's having a little bit of a pullback, which is good. That's what I want to see. If we can get some fake out sells on gold, that would be great. And copper longs look very, very nice. Where would you want to buy copper from? To be honest, you could actually just, if this re-breaks this high here, you could be good for a nice push into these levels. If you can squeeze down a little bit more, maybe, you know, on the open of the London Open candle, if you can come down, grab these lows, hold this support, I think that'd be a nice area to look for some buys if you can break out as well. Oh, what have I just done there? Just got hacked there or something. Yeah, copper's looking really nice. How do you identify a pullback? Just by how much it has moved, and like where you would want to get in from. So for this right now on copper, what's that demo account? Yeah, I think that's my demo account that just fired up. I think I just got exposed there. It's kind of like this right now. When it's pushed this much, it's more so like, you know, you're not gonna buy it up here. So if you want to continue buying copper, well, you just want to look at, you know, the most recent logical level that we have bounced off, which has been all of these wicks. Here, nice resistance, big resistance. So if we're broken back above, you'd like to see price come down here so you can get an entry to actually get in. So I look at, you know, price needing to have a pullback depending on how far we have moved. Same as oil. Let's see, where are we? Which one was it? We're looking at, was it oil or NQ? You know, when you kind of look at this and you're all the way up here, well, you're not going to chase it all the way up there because it's, you know, you should have been buying from, you know, a nice level of support. So same as oil, you know, rather than trying to buy up here, wait for it to pull back so you can actually get a good risk to reward. And where would you look for it to pull back? Just at, you know, very nice previous levels. Nice resistance, resistance broke above. So come back down, hold this as support, and then see if you can continue pushing. Same as gold, I guess. You know, when you've pushed down so much here this morning, like if we jump on the charts and we're here, well, I'm not going to start selling it down here because there's no risk to reward and we're pretty overextended. So I kind of look at it and go, okay, cool. Well, where could we pull back to before continuing lower? This level here. And this is actually potentially shaping up here on gold, guys. We could get some shorts here with the London Open in 3 minutes. You've had this nice push down. You've had this retracement. You're holding this previous big fake out level. Fake out, nice support. And we're going to see if we can squeeze this lower. Grab the lows, close bullish, grabbing the highs, trying to get back down. We just need to see price break these areas, and we could be looking for some sells here on Goldie. Could be looking for some sells. I do prefer the downside on gold today, personally. I do prefer the downside. Yeah, fake out sells look nice. Yeah, I like buys if you can get back above here. Otherwise, if you can't get back above here, yeah, we maybe look for a squeeze lower. I just kind of look at the daily and I go, wow, there's so much liquidity below these daily lows that I think tapping into these before a potential pullback is a pretty good area. But, you know, again, like I said, I am very neutral today. I don't really have a daily buy, so I kind of come onto my lower time frame. I'm like, I can be pretty open today. Gold having a little bit of a pullback here, which is nice, guys. We could get a pretty decent hourly fake out here for some shorts in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, we're gonna look for some gold sells, and we have the London Open here as well. We have the London Open. Did any of you guys on Zoom on YouTube? Did any of you guys get this short down here today? It's a pretty decent push. I mean, it's quite corrective in the way that it did push down, but after that grabbed highs and actually closed back below, there's a pretty decent 180 tick push. Even if you got 100 of it, like that was a really nice push. Really, really nice push. Let me just log into my Topstep. Let's have a look. Did better close too early. Hey man, as long as you got your piece, caught about 60 ticks across three scalps. Nice work, man. 60 ticks is amazing. 60 ticks is fantastic work. 60 ticks at one contract, man. $600. That's a beautiful day. That's a very, very nice day. Yesterday, I did complete 50 trading days on my main Topstep London account, which was pretty cool. How do I show you guys? Does that work? It's my London account that I've had on Topstep since January. Had a little bit of a choppy week last week, and now we've just climbed over 50 days, which is pretty cool. With 28 plus today, 29 green days, which pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Considering as well, I didn't really trade much in March because we were on the trading retreat, and I was also in Europe for a month. But even still, yeah, balances at highs of 7,700, which is nice. All right, guys, we got London Open here. Let's have a look. We have the London Open. Let's see, how's this hourly just closed? London Open here. So we just grabbed the highs and closed bearish, which is good. We just need to see this give a top wick, and we can look for some sells here. You're opening and instantly pushing down. If we can have a little bit of a squeeze higher, I'm going to look for some sells. I don't like that we're opening and instantly pushing down. I would have wanted to see price open, push up, so then we can push down. Yeah, we're opening and just pushing, which is tough because if I'm going to short this on gold, I want to see us pull back first before going down. Otherwise, if we open and instantly push down, it makes me think, could we hold this support to then pull back to then potentially go lower? Let's see. Kind of holding these areas. So if we can get a bit of a top wick, yeah, I'm going to see if we can short this. I would have preferred it to open up first. Let's see, because this is a pretty strong area. Look at this. Do you get your direction from daily or the 4 hour? Ideally the daily, to be honest, man. The daily kind of paints my overall direction. Which I don't really have a daily bias right now. That's why I'm very much more neutral. You know, yesterday I just kind of look at yesterday's close and see how did we close. And it kind of closed, yeah, you kind of closed bullish at support, but you're also at resistance. So I don't really have a daily bias right now. But yeah, I do like to get that bias from, yeah, the daily time frame. If the daily time frame doesn't make much sense, then I can look at the 4 hour. Let's see, we'll open up here. Having a little bit of a squeeze high here. The fact that it opened an instantly push down is not really what I wanted to see for shorts. If I'm going to short gold, I want to see it open, push up, and then I want to go down. So could this be a tap into this area to pull back a bit? Potentially. Let's have a look at that close on copper as well. Oh, look at that, guys. Copper doing exactly what we said. Came down, tapped into lows, now starting to re-break back higher. If you do trade copper, this to me is looking really nice. It pretty much did exactly what we said. You come down, London Open, tap into the lows, hold this area, and see if you can start squeezing. We've got to be very, very quick there. We got about 62 into the highs there on copper. Yeah, 25-second delay shouldn't really make any difference. Blow many accounts? Yeah, of course, man, plenty. Not loads and loads and loads. I was already trading before I started trading on Topstep for like 4 years, so not heaps, but yeah, of course, man, I lose accounts sometimes. It happens. As long as you learn something from it, you know, you're not just losing combines for the sake of it and just going round and round in circles. As long as you understand what you may be doing right or wrong and you know how to actually learn from it. Yeah, it's of course, man. Everyone goes to that stage of, you know, losing accounts and, you know, tough periods in the markets as well. You know, you're not going to make money in trading every single month. You're going to have good months. You're going to have losing months. You're going to have good quarters. You might have losing quarters. You know, it's all part of real trading. But for the most time, you know, when I would kind of lose more accounts, is because I was too busy trying to trade the P&L as opposed to actually just trading the charts. And I was trying to trade the fact that it was like, you know, a combine. And I was trying to trade just to get funded as opposed to actually just trading more neutral and trading what's, you know, right in front of us. Whereas now it's like, you know, I don't even focus on, I don't focus on the P&L, and I don't focus on where my balance is at. I don't focus on, you know, how many $200 green days I need. I just trade the charts. And one of the guys in Discord actually this month said that they passed their combine without even realizing, and that's what you should be doing. Like, you shouldn't make it a goal to pass the combine. You will pass the combine and you'll get funded on Topstep just by taking good trades and executing well. Like I said, you guys, you know, I'm not selling here, guys. This is a pretty strong reaction off here. If I was shorting, it would be down into these hourly lows. You've grabbed the hourly lows and you're starting to reject. So no shorts for me just yet. But yeah, as a byproduct of taking good trades, you know, you will pass the combine and you'll get your however many $200 green days. And then, you know, before you know it, you'll get your payout as well. Yeah, the more I would focus on trying to become a funded trader, the harder it was. And the more I'd focus on trying to force the payout, the harder it was. So the reason I always recommend you guys to just absolutely hide everything. Like, even change your data on here so it's ticks, not the dollar amount. You know, hide your balance, you know, hide all of this stuff if you really want to as well. And only, you know, look back at the end of the month and go, oh, cool. How was my performance stats for the last month? You know, but don't look at it every single day and, you know, be so tough on yourself every single day. Just focus on this. Focus on these beautiful candles right in front of us. And just focus on taking good trades. Closure back below here, maybe looking for some sells here, guys. If we can close back below, I may look for a short here on gold. 30-minute, trying to squeeze back lower. You just grab the highs, and if you can close back below, I will look for some sells. Let's see, 5-minute closure coming up here. If we can close bearish, I'm going to look to short this on gold. I'm not a huge fan of this 15 area, so if I do short gold, I want to see this 15 actually break this level with volume. So 5-minute closure here, and I'm going to look to see if we can go short. You grab the highs. If you can fake out and close back below, amazing. We'll look for some sells. What will the stops be? Stops will be around 20 to 30 ticks, trying to squeeze down for about 50 plus. So let's see. I'm going to see this closure, though. I want to see this candle close. I want to see us break this level. Break this level, Goldie, and we'll see if we get these sells here. We're only 7 minutes into London Open as well, guys. 7 minutes. We've got plenty of time. How's that 15 looking? 15's looking... Yeah, he had a nice 15-minute fake out. Hourly's looking good. 4 hourly's looking okay. I'm just looking at my trading view chart down here. 4 hours looking okay. How's the 4 hour here on the futures? Yeah, it looks good to fill in that wick, actually. Hourly looking good. 15, yeah, cool. Every time frame's looking good. So as soon as we get this 5-minute closure below, I'm going to look to short Goldie. I'm going to go micros again. Let's see if we can get these sells here. Short and down into here. You want to wait for the closure though, because you know, although it looks like you're going to break it right now, anything can happen here on gold. Gold loves to, you know, leave these huge big wicks and trap people. But if we can actually grab these highs and close back below, that's going to be good enough for me to take a short here. And this is some good volume as well. What's that in that 1 5-minute? 60 ticks. Wow, look at that, beautiful. Pretty much what we had yesterday as well. Let's see. 1 minute here, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sorry, guys. Remember, guys, if we do close back below, you know, we got shorts down here for a minimum 50 ticks. And there's nothing to say that once we come this low, we're not coming all the way to yesterday's low as well, which is much lower. Yesterday's low is all the way down here. So if we can get this, you know, management here about 50, we're trying to see if you can squeeze down for a potential 100 tick trade. Let's see, 40 seconds. This is a lovely push down here. And my stop loss will be any closures back above this level that will confirm a fake out. I will look to get out straight away. This is a lovely, lovely, lovely push down here on Goldie. Most volume we've seen since Asia. This is a really nice push down. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 100 tick, so we can delete some ones. So we unreal, yeah. 100 ticks on stream would be beautiful. I mean, even just shorting down into here looks pretty nice. All right, we're closing bearish. Coming up for a top. Let me see if we can just... Oh, was that it? Let's see if we can just pull back a little bit so I can get a good risk to reward. Because I look at this and I go, if I short it right now, I'm just about squeezing a 1-to-1. I need to see a little bit of a top wick here. Okay, there you go. You grab the lows, just trying to squeeze back higher. Oh, maybe just... Let me see. Let's see. See if we can wick up a little bit. I'm going to look to get short here, guys. Pull back just a little bit so I can get a good risk to reward. You're going to give us a pullback, Goldie? It's a little bit of a squeeze. Are you going to push from here? I don't think so. I think this area here should give us a little bit of a pullback so we can short. If you do just push from here, that's, you know, it's fine. This to me is too aggressive to try and chase that. You know, just about squeezing the 1-to-1s a bit too fast for me. I'd rather see us get a little bit of a top wick. If you do want to short it from here, it's not, you know, it's not the worst entry. A 1-to-1s. I try to go for a minimum of like 1 to 1.5 at least. Ideally 1 to 2. Ideally a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Because the only place I can manage this trade is any closures back above here. So, you know, I'm risking like 30 ticks to get like 40. It's a bit tight. And to be honest, this support here, I wouldn't be too surprised if this gives a little bit of a pullback, brings in some buyers, and then we can, you know, maybe sell above the previous 5-minute high. Which is also the 15-minute close as well. Yeah, risk rewards. It's the first thing you got to do when you think about, you know, where you know, most people think, you know, I'm going to get in here, I'm going to target here, and they don't even think about, you know, where's my risk actually going to be. But that's the first thing I do before I take a trade. I'm like, where could I manage my risk, and what is the risk reward? Is it actually worth it? You know, sometimes, you know, I might call a nice trade up, but if I can't get a good risk reward, then it's not my trade. I want to see myself getting at least, you know, 1.5 to ideally 1 to 2 plus. Which is where I had, what was the Asia sales today? Asia sales short from here was about 1.5, I believe. About 30 for about 60, yeah, about 1.2. We're trying to squeeze back high here, guys. Remember, this is a pretty decent support level. Although I'd love to see this broken, I can't ignore that this is a pretty strong level. And we're also going to get the first 15 close of the London Open in about 1 minute here as well. I'm in on the flip of the 15. Yep. Oh, yeah, if you're in from there, man, you're laughing. You're probably already managing risk from there, man. It's a lovely entry. Trying to squeeze it down there. You probably, if you're in from the 15 flip, which is beautiful, yeah, you're probably managing risk. If I was in that 15 flip, I wouldn't want to see us come all the way back up there. So that's a great entry, man. Really nice entry. Good job. holding this previous little support level. Looking quite strong here, guys. The reason I don't want to chase this. Don't ever chase gold. Gold never just, you know, rips and keeps pushing. It's always going to give you the little pullback. So rather than trying to chase it, let it pull back. Markets don't move as quick as you think. Unless you're trading Nasdaq in the New York session, and that's a that's a different story. So 15 minutes looking to have a pretty decent closure there. Pretty nice 15-minute closure. If we can open with the top wick, I'm going to shorten to previous 15 lows. Let's see, 30 seconds here, guys, 30 seconds. Holding resistance, holding support. It's not the cleanest of closes, I'll be honest. No, it's not what we want to hear, but we always have to see the charts from that neutral perspective. It's not the cleanest areas. I have seen cleaner, and we have taken cleaner together. Owly as well. Yeah, big owly support. I may take it on an open of the 15. If the 15 can open and push up, I may take it. I'm only going to take it at micros because, like I said, it is a bit of a tough area, but I still want to kind of give it a shot. See if we can give it a shot here. It's a pretty strong 5-minute close there. Grab the highs, close bearish. Grab the lows, close bullish. That's a pretty tough range. So you're going to squeeze up a little bit more here, Goldie. Where's my music on? Hey, Ash. Welcome behind. Welcome. Yes, yep. 100 points on the DAX. Nice. Good man. Beautiful work, man. Been getting some good DAX trades. Goldie's been a little bit choppy today. Yeah, the reason I'm not jumping in this like we did yesterday, guys, is I don't really like the way we're kind of holding support here. I don't really want to get, like, if we look to the left, you know, look at where we're at. This is a big area. You know, although I would love to see this break lower, I can't ignore that this is a strong area. Look, there's a big bounce, broke, big resistance, big support. It's not the cleanest of trades just yet. I think we've got time here, guys. I'm not gonna, if it does push down, that's fine. I'm not gonna chase it on gold here, guys. Although the 15 did close below, I don't love this short. I don't love it. Not yet. We got time. We got time. No need to rush things here. So you got this this support here. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Yeah, so you got that support there, and you have that resistance right there. So does that make sense? Yeah, it's nice level. Nice level. Broke above. Nice support. So that's close for 11 ticks. Yeah, good management, man. Good management. It was definitely worth a shot. You know, if you were short from here, it was worth it. This is probably going to be a little bit of a no trade range. And if you cut your, you know, if you did short the 15 flip, we're still going to have opportunities to get back in here. There's no need to chase this. A pretty strong rejection there. How's that owly looking? Yeah, look at this. Again, you know, it's huge owly support. It's not the easiest of areas, that's for sure. I think we're going to get easier plays here today. So let's be a little bit patient here on Goldie. Let me have a look at NQ. You guys saying NQ's having the move. Well, yeah, nice. NQ having a push. Couldn't quite get back down to that low, but you did tap into yesterday's high pretty well. Nice nice squeeze there at NQ. Was there a reason opportunity to buy it? Look at that. Came down, grabbed the lows. Is copper pushing into the highs? Yeah, copper was nice there, guys. Look at that. Came down, grabbed our lows, flipped bullish. Like I say, I don't trade copper personally. That's a pretty decent bounce there if you guys do. Oh, is Goldie trying to get back below? Goldie's teasing us. It's telling us to. It's you know, we're going up, we're going down. Where are we going, Goldie? If we grab these highs and close bearish again, I'll give it a shot. Good morning from London. Good morning. Good morning. In the 1 hour time frame, can we consider those two candles between 5 and 6 to be considered liquidity guys for longs? Let's have a look. 5 and 6. Yeah, you could have here, but the only thing with buying here is you're buying right into resistance. Like, look at this big level. I know some of the guys were looking to take this, but the reason I wasn't really too interested in trying to take that is you're buying at resistance. So if anything, if you were buying from down here as it's grabbing the lows on the lower time frame, you'd want to be buying from here. You want to be buying at the support, not at the resistance. So the reason I wasn't buying this 7 a.m. candle is because this is such a strong area that I wouldn't want to be a buyer here. You'd want to be a buyer back down here. But in terms of the strategy, yeah, grab the lows and break back above. If you had targets, definitely. I didn't really have any targets, and you're also trading against a 360 tick push down in Asia as well. And I do believe the 4-hour closed bearish. Yeah, 4-hour grab the highest, closed bearish, closed bearish. So yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It was a grab the lows and a closure bullish. But the reason I wouldn't buy that is because this is too strong of a level. If I do want to buy gold, I'm not opposed to buying gold. I'll buy gold back above 32.40-ish. If we break back above there, then I'll buy gold. But yeah, that's the only reason I didn't want to buy that 7 a.m. candle. If anything, it wouldn't be a bad idea to, as it's grabbing highs and breaking back below, maybe taking a shot at some shorts. 15-minute here, guys. Kind of a little bit choppy, not a whole heap of volume. Dakota keeps saying, "Don't short gold." Really? I didn't get a chance to tune into slow markets today. Did Dakota have any trades in Asia? Yeah, might just want to lock out. Yeah, not a bad idea, to be honest, man. $315 on the day is good, man. It's good. There's nothing, super clear right now. But that's the thing, sometimes, you'll jump on the charts and it might not be that clear, but I can promise you, if you give it some time, you give it 30 minutes, you give it an hour, it will make more sense. You just gotta, let the markets come to you. Not every single time you're gonna jump on the charts, it's gonna be jumping out right in front of you. Sometimes I jump on the charts, I'm like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen here on gold. Then I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can accept it. I can wait. I can be patient. We're paid to wait. Give it a couple of hours or an hour. Sometimes, one 5-minute candle can change everything, and then it makes more sense. There's been plenty of times on stream where, we may have waited an hour, and then one 5-minute candle changes everything, and then we get our $500, and we're like, cool, that was worth the wait. It's patience pays. Patience pays. If it doesn't make sense right now, you can trade it. You can get chopped up, and you can force trades, and then by the time the obvious trade does present itself, you'll miss it because you would have been trying to trade in this range too much. So let the markets come to us. Targets on copper is back up at 474. 474 to me looks like a lovely, lovely target. If I was buying from down here though, it's a pretty easy place to already be managing, because although I do believe we're going to squeeze these highs, this is a huge resistance level. So we can't ignore that. But as an overall target, yeah, 474 looks like a pretty decent area. How do I know what zones to mark on? I just kind of look at this higher time frame and I go, oh, if I go look at this 15, for instance. I kind of, I see this resistance broke, support, and then I also go, cool, you got big resistance here. So you got support here, and you got resistance here. So I'm kind of like, well, this is going to be my no trade range. If we break above, cool, maybe I can look for some longs. If we break below, cool, I'll go short. But anything in these levels, it's a 23 tick range. Anything less than like 30 to 40 to 50 ticks is like my minimum. If I see a 20 tick range, that's where you can get chopped up, especially on the lower time frame. So I kind of mark these zones as like no trade areas where I don't want to get trapped, where you can see on the lower time frame that you can get a lot of choppy price action in these areas. So the reason I drew these zones was as soon as this 15-minute started to reject here, I go, okay, well, there must be some sort of support. So I'll draw this on, I'll put it here, and I'll scroll back and I go, oh, okay, cool, yeah, that makes sense. Yep, nice wick there, that makes sense. Oh, cool, look at that, nice resistance. Definitely makes sense. So now I'm like, okay, cool, if that's the support that the markets couldn't close below here, therefore I want to wait for price to get back below. And then same to the high. I look at this wick, I look at this big wick, and I go, oh, cool, there must be some sort of resistance being formed here as well. I'll put it on, and then I'll look, I'll go, oh, yeah, cool, resistance. Just ruin my levels. Where's it gone? I go, nice fake out. Cool, nice support, nice resistance. Resistance. Big resistance, big broken resistance. Support. So then I'll be like, okay, cool. These are my 2 levels for the day. I won't trade above these. If we can get back above, great, I'll go long. And in between here, I'll sit on my hands. So yeah, patience paid there, guys. We didn't jump in the shorts. The reason I didn't jump in the shorts is because I didn't really like this area and I couldn't get a good risk to reward. And it looks like it paid because we'd be getting squeezed out here. Is Bitcoin going to the moon or is it going to pull back? Bitcoin's going to 10,000, man. I don't know what they told you. Bitcoin's going to 10,000. Nah, Bitcoin's been on a phenomenal run again. You know, once you tapped into, I've deleted all my levels. Once you tapped into what, 75,000, you held these previous highs. It's just been on a phenomenal run. Yeah, I won't be too surprised to see some new all-time highs on Bitcoin. Will it happen right away? Probably not. You know, you may squeeze back into like 100K one more time. 105 again is a big psychological level where it's a big level. So this could give a little bit of profit taken, which you may see a squeeze back to 105. Sorry, 100, and then that could be a nice area. But yeah, I personally think you're going to see some new highs. Bitcoin's looking very strong. Look at this. This is, you know, some huge buys back in April. Grabbed the lows, closed bullish, couldn't close back below 80,000, and just phenomenal push. Phenomenal push. So yeah, I would be looking maybe even back down to, you know, 95 as a higher time frame outlook before. Yeah, 115, 110 doesn't seem so far away. Where are we? Let's put 110 and then 115. Yeah, I think it's going to the moon, man. I think it's going to the moon. Where's the moon? Have we got a moon on here? Maybe. I know it's in here somewhere. Definitely not worth me searching for this. No, there we are. There it is. Let's get that on there. There we go. Yeah, I think that's where we're going. I think we're going 110, 115. Right here. Let's put this at 115. We'll come back and look at this in a few weeks. There. But yeah, there's some big opportunities to pick up some very nice buys back at the 80,000. 80 to 75, even down to 70 was some huge opportunities. I know XRP's been having a pretty decent run recently as well. Crypto and stonks are back on. I don't hold any personally. I was buying a lot of stocks during April. I personally don't really have any. I have a little bit in XRP, but nothing substantial. Gold trying to have a bit of a squeeze high. Hey guys, if we do want to go long on gold as well, we just want to get back above this area. If we can get back above 32, 34, longs look great. But I don't want us to trade in this range for the sake of it. I think patience will pay here, guys. Patience will pay. Grabbing the lows, closing back above. That's not a bad liquidity grab and a fake out there. Again, big support. Could you see longs on the 30 close in 2 minutes? Owly. Grab the highs, close bearish. Grab the lows, bullish. Longs aren't too bad. Let's see this. See the 30-minute close here. Good job on staying patient on them shorts as well, guys. That's a pretty decent breakout here. We have the first 30 minutes of the London Open as well. No trades just from yet, man. We were looking for some sells, but it didn't really give a reason to short. So now we could potentially look for some buys on this 30. Look at this. This is looking strong. You're grabbing the lows. You're closing potentially bullish. 4 hour in the currency chart, a huge support. Let's see. We may even be looking for some buys here. Probably got a little trend line coming down as well. People trying to jump in these shorts, potentially squeeze that. Yeah, 30 minutes looking good actually. First 30 minutes of the London Open. Look at this. Grabbing the lows. This may be a pre-London fake move, and now you're grabbing the lows. You're breaking back above. My only thing is where would we be targeting? I guess the next area that we could look at would be back here at around 32.44. Is that a worthwhile range play? 50 to 60x? Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, this is looking good actually. It's looking good. We could have some longs here, guys, in 1 minute when we get this 30-minute close. This is looking pretty nice. And we could probably manage any closure back below this area. So we're risking about, what, 20 ticks to now make 60. Cool. Now we have a much better risk to reward than the sells. This is why patience pays here, guys. Not only did we not take the short, we didn't take the short, we also didn't take a loss. So that's a win. We've protected our capital. The reason I didn't short this was because there was no real good risk to reward. It then ended up closing back above, and now we're having a squeeze higher. So now I'm like, okay, cool. Stay neutral. There's no emotions. There's no ego. There's no bias. You know, we look for shorts if we're grabbing highs and breaking out. We got downside targets, but if we start breaking back to the upside, cool. We also have upside targets. You want to be very neutral in these ranges. Don't think too much. Just react to where price is breaking out. So if we can come down, open here, maybe we can market execute here, take advantage of this wick, and we're going to see if we can take these longs here on gold. My long target on gold will be back at 32.44. Management point will be this previous high at 32.40, but ideally we can break through it. No, I shouldn't have done anything. I reacted to what the markets were showing me. Shouldn't have done anything. You grabbed highs and closed bearish. If you try and buy after a 30-minute creates an evening star, 9 times out of 10 you'll get squeezed out. There's no predicting. There's no you should have done this or you should have done that. Was there a reason to buy from down here? No, because it was the 15 was pushing down. The previous hourly grabbed highs and closed bearish. You know, it's easy in hindsight. Like, oh yeah, you know, I should have done this or I should have done that. Well, rather than saying what you should have done, how did the previous hourly close and what did it tell you? Well, grabbed highs and closed bearish. If anything, almost all the times we short that, we get a great trade. Don't think about what you should have done. Just see what's right in front of you. All right, nice 30-minute closure there. If we can squeeze lower, I'm going to see if we can get some longs here, guys. I'm going to take a long... Wait there. Come down a little bit more. I may push it from here. I'm going to take 5 micros from here, guys. If we can come down a little bit more, I may take about 300. I may take more. But look at that 30-minute close. Yeah, sorry, not 15. I mean 15 as well. But look at that 30-minute. You just grabbed the lows and it closed back very bullish. So to me, this looks good to squeeze back into this range here. Now, the only thing we do want to see here, the reason I'm trading micros here, guys, is I need to see us actually break above this with good volume. So I want to see volume. If the 5-minute, you know, just starts to close back against me at any point, you know, I'll be getting out pretty quick. I'll be risking about 16-ish ticks here. Any closure back below this level will be my exit. And I'm trying to squeeze this back up into 32.44. Previous highs here, previous hourly high would be my management point. I want to see if we can squeeze this. I could potentially enter more, you know, if maybe we come down, grab lows and hold support. I could enter more. But for right now, I'm only going in 5 micros. I'm risking some of this Asia play. Any closure back below, what is this, 32, 35 will be my exit. Risking about maybe $100. Let me see that 30-minute on the currency. Yeah, 30-minute on the currency is beautiful as well. Very, very nice. Let me put in a hard stop below this previous 5 just in case anything crazy happens here. But if this closes back below, I will exit. That's a pretty strong instant reaction there. That's a strong 30 bottom wick there. Strong 30 bottom wick. Look at that 30-minute. Closed above, grab the lows, closed above. Straight back down. Look at that. 32 ticks for a bottom wick is some pretty big volume. A bit more than I'd like to see. Nah, I'm cutting out there, guys. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's coming down that low. You're probably going to come for the lows. The reason I don't like that, I would have wanted to see just a quick bottom wick and a drive. That's a pretty steep 30-minute bottom wick. Like, look at that. Grab the lows, close bullish, and you're instantly pushing back down. So I'm taking that at minus, what did I just take there? Minus 175. I don't like that, guys. It's looking a bit too choppy. It was a really nice 30-minute close, but that is a strong reaction. If this was a true liquidity grab to push up, you would typically see a little bit of a bottom wick and then a quick drive. But that's quite a strong push. You may squeeze down into these lows a little bit more, which if we do, then I'll get back in. But that's a pretty strong push. And also, I am keeping in my mind that this Audi did grab the highs and close bearish. So, and big resistance. I was happy to give it a shot on the 5 minute, like I say, but this is a strong level. If we can break back above, you know, I'll give it another chance. But that is a strong resistance level. We're in a little bit of a range. So yeah, I'm minus 175 on that one. I will get back in if it, you know, maybe starts re-breaking the highs. But not just yet. Not just yet. We got time here. We got time. And you know, we have had a pretty decent push down here, decent push up. Like, are we in a bit of a tough range? If we start re-breaking the highs, could I go back in? Potentially. That's a pretty strong level. Yeah, that's the thing. There's the reason that I have support and resistance levels at every level is because there's so many ugly ranges here on gold. Like, even to the upside, I kind of look at this and you go, you know, you do also have resistance there, which is a bit tough. Like, there's a lot of noise here on gold. Even here, like, look at all of these wicks. There's it's a pretty messy area. That's why I'm happy to manage aggressively. It's a tough level. So let's see. So 5 minute, you know, holding support, holding resistance. Could squeeze higher. I'm not gonna jump back in this person, guys. It's not invalid. It's just this range is pretty messy. Why do I buy at the highs and short the lows? Because I trade liquidity. I'm buying into where most people are trying to sell. Exactly the same as if you watched yesterday's stream. You're buying into where most people are trying to sell. Here, this is where we bought yesterday. You're buying into liquidity. That's what gold loves to do. Same here. You know, here. Once you start grabbing lows and breaking back above, that's your buy. You're buying into where most people are trying to short with the momentum, which is exactly. Oh, look at that! I may have just done us dirty there. Hell for the 5 minute close. Yeah, nice man, nice. If you did close, well done. Sorry, if you did close, did hold. To me, that was a strong, like 37 tick bottom wick is strong. If you are in it, well done. I'm not in this, guys. I'm happy to wait. There was no reason to buy down here. If there was a reason for me to buy down here, I would have bought down there. It's not that I buy at the highs and sell at the lows. The previous hourly grabbed highs and closed bearish, so there was no real reason for me to buy down here. You know, by the time you did start breaking back above here, like as soon as this gets back above here, then you're like, okay, cool, now I can go longs. But at that point, you may as well just wait for the 15 close, which was here. 15 closed here. So there's your bottom wick. There's your drive. Yeah, if you're still in, this high here is a pretty decent management point. I would, you know, manage risk it, but ideally you're trying to target back up into 32.44. I'm not going to chase it. If it does push, that's fine. I'm not going to chase it. That was just a very, very steep bottom wick. Look at that 30 now looking nice. Grab the lows, close bullish. So if you shorted the highs, well, you're getting squeezed out now. That's what gold loves to do. So if you short the highs, you'll get squeezed out if gold hasn't grabbed the previous highs. Because this is the level where, the reason I jump in longs, because this is the level where everyone's trying to short, sitting their stops just above, looking for this big play down. So that's what you're looking to take advantage of. A really nice squeeze there. There you go, beautiful squeeze there. So if you did get that, guys, well done. I wouldn't be securing there, but I would be managing my risk. Because you could grab these highs and just still range. So if you are still in it, guys, yeah, we got done dirty. Yeah, we did get done dirty a little bit. The reason I didn't buy it from here is just it was a pretty ugly range. Yeah, possibly in too early. Yeah, possibly, man. It was a really nice grab, but to be honest, I thought this may grab the lows and I can get back in. But yeah, because of how kind of choppy it had been, I didn't really want to jump back in because it wouldn't have surprised me too much if you did just kind of create some more aggressive ranges. Yeah, look, you guys still holding. Well done. If you guys are holding, good job. I would be looking to hold into this target. A really nice call there. That was just a pretty steep bottom wick. I guess I could have maybe waited for that 5 minutes close, but it was a pretty steep wick. Yeah, nice, good job. If you guys did take it, well done. What you hitting? You're hitting is probably not worth securing anything. You're at like 30 ticks. It's definitely worth managing risk. Because look at this hourly time frame, guys. It's still pretty messy here. You grab the highs, you close bearish. You grab the lows, closing bullish. So the hourly hasn't really broken out yet. So you're kind of trading into the hourly breakout. But that's exactly why you buy at the highs. Because you're buying into where most people are trying to sell. Got 50 ticks. Nice work, man. Amazing. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yeah, it doesn't work out every time. Absolutely. Same as the one we took yesterday. You know, yesterday we took the exact same trade. Where was it yesterday? Where did we take it yesterday, guys? Here. Exact same trade. You know, if we had maybe had been too patient here, well, we would have missed 60 ticks yesterday. Exactly the same trade. We literally took the exact same trade yesterday. Here. And yesterday we made about 53 ticks. Because you closed bullish, you had a quick little bottom wick and a drive. Well, if we had waited for more of a bottom wick here like we had today, we would have missed it. So, it literally exactly the same trade that we took yesterday, here today. It was just a bit of a steeper bottom wick. I guess I probably could have waited for the 5-minute close. But usually you don't see that steep of a bottom wick. Like, you know, a 42 tick bottom wick is pretty strong. But yeah, good job if you guys did take it. Well done. Again, these highs here look like a fantastic target. 30 ticks secured. Yeah, nice work. Amazing. Good job. Good job. Beautiful work. That's why we do these streams, guys. You see me execute. We see us manage. We see us take the loss. We see everything. And if you guys did hold because you're following your plan, even better. So you guys who had the delay on YouTube, well, the delay probably would have paid because you would have just been able to go break even. Four out of 5, close 50 ticks. Yeah, nice work, Sean. Beautiful work, man. Beautiful work. This high here looks like a pretty decent target. Looks like a pretty decent target. You start rejecting from here, you get more people trying to short. A high chance you could squeeze that. Lovely push, guys. The reason I traded micro as well because I was happy to risk some of what I've made in Asia. I didn't want to risk. Didn't want to risk all of it because I want to lock in this $200 green day. But yeah, it's good to see that the direction was right. Just maybe a little bit too aggressive with the management. I just didn't really like this range. I didn't like the range. I didn't like the fact that the hourly still actually hasn't broken out. You know, so we were in before the breakout. Once this starts grabbing the lows and breaking back above, you know, you're taking 30-minute fake outs at the hourly level. 62 ticks locked in. Yeah, nice work, man. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Good job, yeah. Good job if you guys dig it. Well done. Lovely, cool. Nice direction. I probably should have just, you know, maybe put in a buy stop instead. You know, if I do cut it, maybe buy stop again. Because if you buy stop again, you know, if it re-breaks these highs, then, you know, you still got like 50 ticks, which is good. 100 ticks today, locking the account. Super happy. That's amazing, man. 100 ticks in a day is incredible. Nice work, man. You scaled that up to one contract, man. That's $1,000 in a day. That's beautiful work. That's, you know, that's, you guys who took this, you know, you're running about 60 ticks. You're risking like 20. It's a very nice risk to reward. Nice work, Casey. Good job. Why did you guys, you guys all held the trade. Why did no one tell me? I thought we were closing together. I thought we were in this together. You guys held. You guys held, and you watched me all painfully close knowing that you were going to hold without me. I see how it is. I bought more where you closed. Yeah, I was your liquidity. Good job. We sold into your stop. Yeah, nice work, man. Beautiful work. 1,080 across 2 accounts. Amazing, Matt. Beautiful work, man. Beautiful work. Really nice work, man. Again, guys, this is a strong resistance level. The hourly hasn't quite closed back above, although I do believe you could squeeze these highs. You know, look at this hourly. It's not really done that much. The next hourly could still come down, give us a bottom wick, and we could still get this, you know. We can still get this. Yeah, that's the thing, you know, this hourly still hasn't really broken out. But look where we're at again. Again, this is the reason I was very aggressive with the management, guys. It wasn't the cleanest of ranges. Although, you know, I could see these highs being grabbed. The reason I was so aggressive with the management is because, yeah, this is a strong level. It's a strong, strong level. And the hourly hasn't really confirmed anything for us just yet. So, you know, in 16 minutes, there's still there's still reasons to still get in here. We haven't missed anything just in. We were, you know, getting the longs anticipating this breakout, which you can do, but obviously it is a little bit riskier trading anticipating the breakout. That's why I will manage aggressively. But if it does break out, you know, we still got more buys here, guys. We still got more buys. I did buy 3 more micros when you got out. All right. I see how it is. I see how it is. I'll remember that. I'll remember that. When I full margin Asia tomorrow before we jump on these streams, everyone goes, oh, why didn't you wait for us, Aaron? I'll say, well, remember yesterday when I got stopped and you guys held? Nah, good job. That's what these streams are all about, guys. These streams aren't just about, you know, you guys just following trades blindly. These streams about educating you guys on my thought process behind the trades. You know, I was originally looking for shorts down here once you grabbed highs and closed bearish. I didn't get the shorts because there was no good risk to reward. Okay, shorts are off the card. Once you start breaking back to the upside, I go, cool. My short bias is no longer of interest. Let me flip the bias and go long. That's the key takeaway here, guys. From being 1 minute bearish to then being bullish, being very, very neutral. That's what you guys want to get good at. You want to get good at becoming very reactive, especially when there's no real daily bias right now. Again, that was another reason for me managing aggressively as opposed to yesterday. You know what, I gave my trade a bit of breathing room because I was following this daily support. But right now there's no real daily bias. So that's why today I was, you know, managing aggressively because there's no real daily bias. We're coming into some pretty tough areas. I was happy to manage aggressively. Rejection from here, probably bringing in some sellers. You may squeeze this up a little bit high here, guys. I wouldn't get too scared by that bearish closure. I think that's a trap to bring in some sellers. I think it's still going to squeeze this higher. You're looking to target just above this high here. I think a lot of people are probably trying to jump in these shorts and will get squeezed out here. But yeah, that's what these streams are all about, guys. You understanding the thought process behind the trade. You know, if we can make some bank here together as well, fantastic. But you guys will get good at spotting these opportunities and, you know, other than the hour and a half that we stay on here for. Do you think ES and NQ follows your GC strategy better? No, not better, man, not better. Gold follows it very, very well. It still follows the same principles, but not better, in my opinion. I've made it around gold. You know, it will follow similar characteristics. Wow, look at that. It will follow similar characteristics, but it won't move exactly the same. You know, and that's why I prefer to just trade gold. Because if you try and trade gold and then you try to trade ES, then you try and trade NQ, you know, although they may do similar things, they have their own intraday characteristics that you could just confuse yourself. If you could just get good at mastering one, whichever that is, that's, you know, like I said, you can, you know, whether it's NQ or whether it's gold, you can absolutely get good at just mastering that one instrument. That is literally all you need to trade. Lettuce hands, I know. Lettuce hands for sure. Never heard that saying, lettuce hands. I'm going to start saying that from now on. I'm going to steal that. Lettuce hands. Still kind of rejecting it, guys. Remember, we got the, what we got, 15-minute close has just closed. How'd the 15 close? Yeah, 15 is looking still good for buyers. 15 is still looking good. You may just get a little bit of a pullback before seeing that. And remember, you know, we are also buying against this pretty decent push down here in Asia. So again, there was a lot of reasons for me to be aggressive with my management. Yeah, just add it. Yep. So we'll see the 30-minute close. You know, look at where we're at, guys. Look at this. Look at where the dotted line. That's price right now. Look at these big wicks. Look at this. This is a huge level. It's like I said. You know, I was happy to give it a shot and risk some of my Asia profits, but it is certainly not the cleanest of ranges. So if you guys have made money in this range, you've done pretty well because we're in a very, very tough area for gold. You got resistance here. You got support here. It's a very, very tough range. So if you did make money in that, well done. Do you use TradeZilla, Aaron? Would you recommend it? I don't use it personally, man. I think the Topstep journal here is fantastic. To be honest, man, I used to use it, but yeah, I don't use it anymore, man. I just like I like the Topstep one here. To me, it does more than enough. shows me fantastic statistics. So it's not that I don't recommend it. Maybe you could use it for personal or something, but for my Topstep accounts, I love the performance stats here, man. I think it's fantastic that's built in here. Yeah, I used to use it, and you kind of just drop in all your data, and then just me personally, I would just never really look at it. So yeah, I just kind of stopped using it. It has its place though, I think it's very important to journal in the early days in whichever way that you do like to journal, whichever is going to help you get that information down is going to be what's really important. So however way you do like to do it, whether you export it from here and you put it into a, even a Google sheet. I've created a Google sheet before where I have all my columns. I'll put in the trade, the win, the loss, the reasons behind the trade, etc. There's different ways to do it. But it has its place. Let's see, did copper still push? Yeah, so you would have taken the break even there on copper. You couldn't quite close back above that resistance. So you can kind of see even copper's a little bit choppy today, guys. Like this to me was a lovely, lovely trade. You grabbed lows, you closed bullish, and then you just kind of came straight to resistance and couldn't quite close back above, and you kind of just created a bit of a range. So copper's in a little bit of range, gold's in a little bit of a range. NQ having a very nice sell-off. Look at that, guys. Tagged the highs and squeezed back lower. That was a very, very nice. Actually, NQ is probably the nicest there. Tagged yesterday's high and instantly sold off. So if there was, my intraday was buying into that daily high, grabbed the highs, squeezing back lower. Probably the nicest opportunity so far today, to be honest. Yeah, I can take the reason I'm not jumping at anything else is because I can take a payout on this Asia account. So I'm trying to keep this green $200 day. Stack them up. I do believe that you're going to squeeze high here though on gold, guys. This to me is a trap to bring in some sellers. Is there an opportunity for us to buy up into it? Probably not. It's like 30 ticks. I mean, 30 ticks is not bad, but it's a very, very tight range. So it's not the cleanest of. So that's the thing, when we look at gold here, guys. Like if we just delete all this for a second, like what have we actually done in the time that we've been on here? Pretty much not a lot. So being able to actually read a nice move like that on gold in this very tight range, I'm pretty happy with that. Say minus what? Minus $175 is good to me. Great, cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. See you tomorrow. How much do you usually risk per trade for 50? Anywhere between $250 to $500. Worst case scenario, like 1,000 maybe. Ideally, I'm usually trading minis here. So I just trade minis. I'm trading micros today because I've had a good trade in Asia, but also London is very choppy. But in normal times, I just trade mini. I'll stick to one contract, and I manage my trade exiting based off closures against me, which this actually didn't do. So I look at this, I probably was a little bit aggressive with the management here. But let's say if I bought from here and this closed against me, I'd be risking about $200 maybe. At a worst case scenario, 400. I don't like to. Well, what have we had on average here? This is actually quite surprising. I actually thought probably with that loss we've just had as well. I would like to work on this a little bit more. That's quite close. But then again, I have a pretty decent win rate here, 62%. What's my losing days been here? 136. See, 576. So I would like to get this a bit better. I try and go for at least 1 to 2s. But I manage my trades based on when they close against me. So yeah, on average, I'd say I'm risking anywhere between 20 to 30 ticks, which are one contract, $200, $300, sometimes $400. The ranges have been very big recently. So I have had bigger losses because the ranges have been huge. Like even here today in Asia, Asia's moved from the highs of Asia down to lows. It's a 360 tick push in Asia. Like that's a It's a huge move, which is not normally what you see in Asia. Thoughts on longs at the Asia Open into 32.50? Whereabouts, man? Let me see. Asia Open. Here? Or here? This one? Bro, there is a secret for your passion is insane. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Well, that's the thing, you know, when I first got into trading, like, I didn't care about having a... Yeah, we're going to squeeze high here, guys. It's too risky to... Not too risky, but too tight of a range for me to want to buy. But this looks really nice for buys now. This looks really nice. If I had more reasons to see gold push higher, I would take this right now. But it's too tight of a range. But yeah, I have a passion for being able to manage risk and cool market moves as well. Like, you know, when I first got into trading, I didn't actually care about trading. I just wanted to make money. And that's, again, what held me back for so long. Whereas now I get more satisfaction than saying, oh, great, I called a lovely buy where most people were trying to sell for, you know, a 50+ tick move up, as opposed to saying, oh, I made this much money. I take more pride in being able to call these good market directional moves than saying, oh, yeah, I made X, Y, Z. So that's what you want to get, you know. You want to get pride, I should say, from calling good market moves well, than saying, oh yeah, I made this much money. You know, be proud that you were able to call a very nice move up, as opposed to saying, oh, I, you know, made this much dollars. Yeah, you also make money, which is nice as well. Exactly, yeah. And yeah, a byproduct of calling nice moves is, yeah, hopefully you also make money. But yeah, like I said, when I first went trading, I didn't care about, you know, for ages, I didn't really care about the charts. I just cared about making money. I just wanted to make money. And the more I focused on just wanting to make money, the longer I wasted just kind of going round and round in circles. Whereas like now, I'm like, no, I get much more satisfaction than calling this good move up and saying, oh yeah, I made X, Y, Z. But yeah, gold in a little bit of range here today, guys. I'm probably just going to take my $175 loss. I was just going to see if we get this Audi closure here, guys, so we can give some analysis for the rest of the day. But to be honest, it's not looking the cleanest. I'm going to delete everything for a second, guys. Remember, don't be afraid to delete all analysis sometimes. The reality of what we're currently working with right now is we have strong resistance here and we have strong support here. So we're in a very tough range. My buys today were just based off price needing to come up and retrace into this level, which I do still think is possible, especially if this Audi closes like this. The next Audi will probably come down, give you a bottom wick, and then you could potentially squeeze it. But yeah, it's not the cleanest of ranges, guys. And you know, buying this current 8 a.m. candle was also kind of tough, considering the 7 a.m. candle grabbed highs and actually closed bearish. You know, if anything, should be looking for shorts at this candle. But once you start coming close to highs, I'm like, okay, cool, there's a high chance you're going to grab it. So it's a little bit of a tough range today on gold, guys. For you guys who are wanting to trade for the rest of the day, if you can, you know, on the next hourly you open, you come down, buy, great. But you just have to be pretty aggressive with the management. This is the level where I said, guys, you know, if you guys are still holding your buys from here, you are targeting here. Anyone who's trying to short here on gold right now, where's their stop? It's going to be sitting just above. So that's why I said there's a high chance you could squeeze this higher. If I had a reason to do so, you know, more targets, I would be buying this candle right here, risking off that low. But I just don't really have that much of a range. What are you risking 26 to make 40? Not bad. Zoom, guys, give me 2 secs. But yeah, not the easiest of days today, guys. You know, patience will pay here. Remember, guys, you got D coming on right after me as well for about half an hour. But from right now, to be honest, guys, I'm probably gonna lock in my day here. I'm not loving this London price action, although it was a lovely push up. I'm happy to keep my $200 here today. Not the biggest of profit, but again, not the cleanest of ranges. So we've been on for about an hour and a half, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. Took a little bit of a loss here. We took a good winner yesterday. So we will see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully you guys did get value from this stream. And I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow, 7:30 until 9 a.m. London time. Trade safe for the rest of the day, guys. Don't force it. It's not the cleanest. I think we're going to get nicer opportunities for the rest of the week. And I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. So trade safe for the rest of the day, guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.